All right, guys, so usually I wear that really super cool hat in the summer, my sun hat, and this is my awesome winter hat. So I guess I do have a thing for bad hats. This is definitely a bad one, but I dig it. So I'm gonna go through kind of what's been going on in the gardens. I want you to see, we're in November in Indiana, which is zone 6 for gardening. If you don't know about zones, it's really easy to get online. You just type in your zip code and it'll tell you what gardening zone you're in. That means, I sound a little Wisconsin, zone. I don't know what happened there. But what that zone thing means is that it tells you what your, kind of when your frost points are going to be, helps you figure out the timing of your garden a little bit. So obviously if you live in Florida, you have a different growing season than you do here in Indiana. So I'm in zone 6, almost zone 5, kind of right in the middle of the two really, but I say zone 6. And that just means kind of what plants will grow here. So right now, this is November in zone 6. That means it's a dormant time. Everything is dead. Everything's already had a hard frost. And so it's prep for winter time. And I think I'm pretty well prepped for winter season, but I'll show you the beds and talk about that. This is every day, all day. These two cats. So you've met Broccoli before. She always tours with me. She's the black cat over here. This is a kitten we got this year. Its name is Shart. Yes, Shart. If you don't know what the word Shart means, go ahead and Google that. We'll let you figure that one out. But this kitten drives this other cat crazy all day, every day. It's WrestleMania, and they kind of crack me up. So these are two good barn cats I have right now, and they are always following me around. This is my garden in the middle of summer. Beautiful, full of color. All right, guys, so here's my garden in November in Indiana. It's actually pretty green out for November in Indiana. It's usually a lot browner right now, but it's been a little bit warmer, so it's got a little bit of green still in it. These are the beds that the zinnias were growing in all year. Those are all cleaned out of zinnias. They've got a nice thick layer of straw in them, or actually, it's actually hay, which straw I find to work a lot better, but this is really old hay, so it's gonna work well for good mulch. Sometimes hay just becomes like a moldy mess, but this is really, really old hay, or really old, hay. So it'll keep fine. It's gonna work fine. So those beds are empty. All the zinnia stalks are pulled. They'll just sit here empty until spring. These are beds. I actually grew broccoli in these this year, and some other things, but mostly broccoli. There's one flower that just seems to be particularly hardy to cold, so I'm just letting him hang out. Nice thick coat of straw or hay in here, and then I've got garlic growing that'll grow all over the winter season. Again, I'm in zone 6. I took my water barrel down because you can't let the water barrel fill and freeze all winter, or it will have all kinds of problems. So it is down. Shart the cat is, again, being a total pain in the butt. Hey, get out of my beds, bad cat. Look at Broccoli. She's like, I'm too dignified. You're an idiot. Yeah. This is some Brussels sprouts that are just finishing up. They are about ready to be harvested. Look at those pretty boys. So that's some Brussels sprouts. I think there's 3 Brussels sprout plants. They fell over because they're very heavy, very large, but they are beautiful. Over in this bed, I've got some lettuce that is still trying its heart out. Got some parsley that's really kicking butt. And then this is a great big giant thing of kale that I've let just go crazy because it was just kind of pretty. And it just keeps going, and I'm going to pull it out here eventually, but I'm just kind of letting him have fun. He's like a flash of color. Here's some more garlic that I have going. This corner here is where I let the rabbits graze when they're under supervision. They can't just be out here totally alone, but you can kind of be in and out, and they can hang out. That's like their little paddock for outdoor fun. Shart the cat, still being a pain in the butt. This is all grass clippings in here. So everything you see in there is a little bit of grass grass from the mower. And I just looked up and saw this piece of window. So somewhere along the line, this window got blown out. We had a really bad windstorm the other night. So now there's all this glass right there. and it got blown out of my dog's greenhouse. See, there's a missing window pane right here. Gussie, what happened, buddy? He's like, it was crazy. It was the ultimate windstorm. Buddy, what happened? Huh? What happened? Jeez, buddy. So we'll get that tended to here. There's where my rain barrel sits. So it just is gonna sit there all winter. There's a great big giant carrot I pulled out of the ground a couple days ago that I didn't realize was still growing there. So that's funny. He won't be edible now. It's too big, and it'll taste really bitter. And then over here is all hay or straw. No, what is it? It's hay. Hay is all down in the beds. I love to add a ton of grass clippings and hay and all that stuff this time of year, because then you know it's just going to sit there all year and decompose until spring and be ready to make the soil better in the spring. It's also going to cut down the quantity of weeds that are coming up in the spring. So I love to throw that down there. All right, so next year we're going to have a big expansion of this space. I didn't put all the beds in here in the first year because I wanted to kind of get a lay of the land, but I'm going to have a new bed right here and a new bed right here. So when you walk in the entrance, you'll have beds on each side, and then I'll put a trellis over them that green beans can grow on. I did that in my old garden, and I really liked that. And then there'll be one more long ways bed right here, another bed along that edge. So I'll expand my bed space, almost doubling it, not quite doubling it, but pretty close. That's going to make a big difference to the quantity of what I can grow out here. This is a nice sized garden, but I like having decent pathways to use. So this is the out part of the bed where the tomatoes grew this year. It was my best tomato year ever. I do not understand why it was so perfect. I would love to tell you I have some great gardening tip and reason behind it. I don't know what happened. It was just pure effing perfection. I, again, have no idea why. I'd love to tell you it's because I'm such a master gardener, but it seriously was just because. Over on this side is where I've got my apple trees, and they're still babies, so we didn't get any apples from them this year. 3 apple trees right here, but I've got a row of raspberries right here that did awesome, and I'm expecting big things from them. Get to work, guys. We're going to continue that row of raspberries along here. So between the 2 apple trees will be rows of raspberries, and hopefully we'll repeat that elsewhere because I just love raspberries. I need a million of them.